So last week I went to Bridging the Gap and it was my first time at an accounting specific conference. And so when I asked LinkedIn, hey, what conference should I go to? It was overwhelmingly Bridging the Gap. And so I had heard of it. My co-founder Kyle actually went a couple years ago and he had some really good things to say about it. But ultimately he had decided like it's not really for us and our firm because we don't really do bookkeeping, we don't do taxes. And a lot of the firms out there, that's typically like who they're serving. But what I ended up finding is that Bridging the Gap is kind of this weird amalgamation of not only accounting firms, but vendors, and they bridge the gap between the two, right? And so it ended up being where it was a lot of like minded individuals, whether it be from the accounting space or the accounting adjacent tech space, coming together to try and better the accounting industry. And so if you all have been following me and my page for, the last 6 months to a year, you probably know that that's exactly what I've been pushing for a lot, right? So take a step back, 5-second overview. Zeroed In was started because we wanted to change the accounting industry for the better. No more 55-hour work weeks, no unlimited PTO, but like if you take PTO, you get shunned, like stuff like that, right? And so Randy Crabtree and Tri-Merit, the people that put on Bridging the Gap, have kind of cultivated this mix of individuals. And I think when I spoke to Randy at the conference, he said he was very intentional about building the foundation of the people in kind of like year one. And so I believe this year was year 4 of that conference. So here is my overall review. And if you're thinking about doing it next year, which is in Chicago, spoiler alert, yes, you should definitely do it. But you should do it for the reasons which I am about to lay out. So, what is the number one thing that I found at Bridging the Gap? All of these people that I've been following on LinkedIn for a long time that are literally trying to change the game, similar to me, were there and they were panelists or they were attendees. And honestly, like that was probably the best is to sit down with them, have a real conversation and like just understand the human side of them. Like there's people that come to mind like Roman, Aaron, Taylor, Casey, and a bunch of other names that I probably can't remember off the top of my head. But all of these individuals I've either had a conversation with or have followed for quite some time. And it's just kind of nice to see like their perspective and to kind of humanize them, right? But we had a lot of really good sessions there. There was some about burnout. There was some about getting the right advisor board. There was a lot of conversations around AI. But if I'm being honest with you, that was my least favorite part of the conference, not because they were bad. The sessions were all great. And honestly, I learned a lot from, there was a storytelling one that Roman put together. There was one from Aaron about AI. There was one that was about partnerships with technology companies that Casey was a part of and Taylor. And honestly, those were all really, really good. But there was also parts where I just got to kind of hang out with people that were like-minded, have a drink, sing some karaoke. Hopefully those videos never surface, please, for the love of God. But those are the conversations that now I left away with like 60 new contacts, right? In a space that like loneliness is real in the accounting space, especially if you're remote, especially if you're a firm owner. Like these are all things that like if you're out there and you're trying to understand, should I go to Bridging the Gap, yes or no? I would 100% say yes. And hopefully that kind of lays out why. I know I kind of rambled a little bit, but hopefully that was good. Anyways, if you have any questions, please let me know. I'm happy to answer them. But 10 out of 10 conference, great time, great people, great organization. Randy really cares about the accounting community. And I also had some off the cuff conversations that I didn't mention because they were more private, but like those are super, super meaningful. And I will say that like those connections that I made during those off the cuff conversations is one of the best. Like, for example, I had what was supposed to be just a 5-minute conversation with Jennifer Wilson. GT had just announced that they were acquiring CBiz. And I was just like, hey, what are your thoughts on that? And we literally sat, talked for 45 minutes. We skipped the first part of like the happy hour session because we were both so involved and we had so much to say about what happened. And honestly, like that's the kind of stuff that I haven't ever seen at another accounting conference. So if you take anything from this, know that it's those conversations that happen off the session, off the cuff, the people that you meet, and the relationships that you build that end up being the thing that make it great. So, anyways, that is all. I hope you guys all attend next year, and I hope to see you there.